There is little to say, and I can't seem to pen the details. They are too brutal, and at this point, they feel unnecessary. Velcora's abomination vaults have always been filled with death and cold destruction, and the depths to which they reach upon the frontiers of the Darklands only amount to more of the same. Still, a fool's hope had always lingered for our hero of Otari, a savior to myself, and who knows how many countless others. But now he does not see his quest through, and we mourn his sacrifice, celebrate his life, regard his efforts and heroism with a reverent gloom. I only hope his sense of purpose and stoicism was instilled into the others. For dark days surely lie ahead.
So I've been thinking a bit about change and comfort zone and workflow and interruption. We had took a bit of a break here between recordings, whilst myself was mostly myself was on an extended vacation, which was lovely.
Your fault.
What part of yourself wasn't, though?
Conscience.
Yeah. I was thinking about how sometimes you interrupt the frequency of, say, recording this show, or or just an old habit, and like how we often I think most,
like the cast, keeping the cast consistent.
Right. Yeah. I think humans generally have a bit of an aversion to change, some more than others, of course. But then I thought to myself, like, sometimes it's really good to embrace change, even if it's in small things. Like, you just instead of that whole, if it ain't broke, or what's the phrase? Sorry.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it.
If it ain't broke, don't
fix
kill
it. Yeah. But but also, just because it ain't broke doesn't mean it can't be improved upon, right? So, and like a very small example, I remember a bartender friend of mine told me he started grabbing the bottles differently when he went to pour when he went to go
murder a sorcerer.
And
It's gonna be a rough anecdote.
And
buddy.
I thought to myself, I don't think that's gonna work for me. But I thought I'll give it a try for like a weekend, and it actually made everything easier and better for me. It was a surprising tiny change, and I thought I can never go back now. It's the same when you catch someone cutting citrus with their finger along their index finger along the length of the blade. Like, that's just not a safe way of cutting. If you learn to grip it a different way, even though it doesn't feel right, it's safer and more accurate. And these little things come up in my workplace all the time. So I was just wondering if you guys had any examples of that, where you embraced a small change, or even a big change, and you didn't want to do it, but you kind of push yourself over that threshold and made the most of it anyway, and it actually worked out for you.
Oh, I got one. Upping the antagonistic relationship between players and GM by killing their player characters worked wonders for my storytelling. It really drove the drama home. They cried a lot, but they'll get over it eventually. And I learned that I could live with their tears, so I can.
You learned that you
back.
really like salt.
I learned that I want to live on Salt Mountain and just stay up there with my little flag.
Waterfront property on a sea of tears.
So I actually have one where I have spent my entire life writing like a child. Just
Wait, gripping the whole
awful
pen with your
handwriting.
hand.
I'm
I'm still
eating crayons, just diapers are a on and off kind of thing. My handwriting is just fucking awful. And then as my career has kind of progressed, I have a lot of paperwork to do, and as much as I want to do everything on like a keyboard and do it digitally, usually not the case, and things can really fucking go wrong if you get back to the shop with a bunch of notes you can't read and you enter incorrect data and all that kind of shit. So I actually spent months just kind of like sitting down and doing reading or writing exercises like I was in the 4th grade, and it has improved so much of my working life of just being able to not have those moments of like, is that a 7 or a 9 or what the fuck is going on here? So yeah,
I still have terrible penmanship. I actually hate the act of writing something down manually. I avoid it at all costs.
well, yeah, maybe you won't be able to read all the fucking feelings you have about killing Tulok then when you're writing your diary later.
No one will be able to read them. And it's not because of the tears in the page. There are none of those.
It's a dry page.
It's dry. That is one crispy parchment.
It's illegible because he's laughing so much when he's writing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a serious one though, and it was the first time that I realized holding a whisk the right way will save your wrist hard.
Oh,
That was an absolutely massive
That really
one.
depends on what kind of whisk you're using and what the thing is, because there's like 7 different hand positions.
No,
based
for
on
sure.
What you're doing in.
But making like aioli and stuff like that, there was definitely a change that my wrist thanked me tremendously afterwards.
I'm guessing you don't just grip it like, the whole handle in your fist. So you kind of get it between your fingers in a way. Is that correct?
There's, like James said, there's 7 different ways. But
Yeah.
I was doing like whisk up, and then I switched to whisk down and was able to do that motion a lot more easily.
You just got to make sure you don't grab the KitchenAid mixer by the cord when you unplug it, I think is the biggest thing.
Or by the whisk.
That's
Or
fun.
by the
That gets you a
way,
day
yeah.
off work.
Yeah. Maybe even a month.
Not a paid one though.
Yeah. Depends if the WorkSafe deal comes through.
Cut that. I'm waiting on a claim.
Scott, you got any?
Oh, yeah, I was hoping that James was going to hop in because I hadn't thought of one. But let's just go with, when I moved to Vancouver, I realized that if you pay attention while you're driving, you're better at it. Because I come from...
Whoa, back up.
You should tell the rest of Vancouver that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Because I'm from Victoria, which is a small town, and people there are old and drive very slow. So I didn't realize this, but I drive extremely slow. I'm not super aware of what's going on around me. I'm generally just chilling, and that's how I like to drive. But I realized upon moving here that that is not how the other people here like to drive. And therefore, I need to be way more proactive in trying to be a defensive and offensive driver. So,
That's
you know what?
A very, very serious change to embrace.
yeah, check those shoulders, look in all your mirrors. Oof, who would have thought?
Oof. Oh, no. Heaven forbid you'd have to do the bare basics.
All the mirrors. I used to be a left side mirror only guy.
Hell yeah, dude. And drive way more aggressively and cut people off and don't bother waving at anyone because they ain't going to wave
Especially
back.
cyclists, right?
The number one thing that I learned driving a food truck is absolutely get the sway going, and then you just pull in and people get out of your way.
There you go. Nice, good sway.
Get the sway going. Oh, it's gonna fall over, but slow down. It's gonna fall over on us.
Just a reminder
I
to all
love
of our
that.
listeners that Cam lives in a different country, and we don't endorse that way of driving at all, even if it is a fact that it's better.
It is, in fact, very effective.
Doesn't make it right.
What about you, James? You strike me as the kind of person that has learned to embrace a whole bunch of small changes to improve your own life, yet despises changes at the same time. These might be two other wolves, if I were to guess, within you, James.
Yeah, it's possible. I honestly don't know. There's so much, like, I'm constantly tweaking my workflow and playing with it, trying to make it better in every aspect of my life, be it miniature painting, audio editing, or my day job. Like, I bought a 3D printer this weekend to make micro changes in my workflows, whether it's organization, the idea that if you don't see it, it's gone kind of concept, that kind of thing. I'm sure there's tons, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, anytime somebody tells me a way's better, I'm gonna give that a shot, unless I know already it's objectively not better.
At least take it under consideration. Think about it for a second and see. It comes as no surprise, I guess. Everyone kind of has an answer or several answers, or no answers because there's too many to even pin one down. And that doesn't surprise me because we've all learned to adopt some sort of workflow together, doing this remotely over nearly 3 years at this point. And I think we recently had a little workflow thing. I was like, that's not working. We're kind of looking at going back a step now, and it's a small thing, but it's like we embraced a change and it didn't really work out, and we embraced so many other changes, and sometimes it takes us an individual or a few of us to catch on a little bit, but we get there, and I think it's really cool to look at what we do and how we've learned to do it with all these different personalities and workflow styles, like actually get to where we've been. So pat on the back to everybody for embracing so many small changes to make this podcast work. And on the subject of out with the old and in with the new.
Oh, you murdered that segue worse than you murdered Tulak.
The blood's on your hands.
We left our remaining heroes in different parts of Otari, having had this sort of improvised procession for our now dead sage. From what I recall and what our notes seem to read, Ruff went back to Arthur's abode within town to have some alone time. Nick returned to the kobolds for a bit of a chat, who were, the Adamant was trying to sort of inspire Nick to embrace heroism and trust in his new friends. And Lump, alongside Aloria and Tamily, I think it was, are standing vigil over Tulak's body in the Dawnflower Library. We left around, I think it was like middle of the night, like 3 a.m. or something. And we'll fast forward to the morning, the early morning. And I just want to know what each of you are doing with the morning and or afternoon of this day.
Lump, seeing the sunrise through the dawn flowers. Do they have stained glass windows here?
I would say so,
I'd
yeah.
say they do for funsies. Okay. Seeing the light start to shine through it is going to let out a sigh, look over at Tulak one last time, and then just head out into the town to go find some baked comfort foods. Just like, I don't know, any sort of bread or kolache or pastry or just donut. I don't know if donuts exist in Galarian. I hope they do. And
you immediately get the vibe when you get into town. You immediately get the vibe that the town started its day earlier than usual. They didn't go back to bed. They just got back to work basically. Once the vigil outside of the the Dawnflower Library kind of broke away. So there's plenty of fresh baked goods earlier than usual.
And Lump will hand over a couple copper pieces to pay for just a nice croissant. And
Again, Cam is from a different country, listener.
croissant.
We cannot reiterate enough that Cam is from a different country.
There, make sure that I'm very isolated and alienated at all times. It's a very welcoming environment to be in. And then I think we'll probably head to Arthur's, if they know where that is, just to catch up with Ruff. And arriving outside the door, we'll just gently knock and see if anyone's stirring.
I think it's possible that Ruff is probably just coming back at this point. I still don't think he sleeps very much for fear of dreams. In my head, he probably would have been up, a couple hours after the procession died down, and as soon as the streets got quiet again, or as quiet as they're going to get today, he would have slipped out and kind of just done like a walk around the neighborhood, maybe round through Stone Ring Pond, see if Warlowin or Krugga's around. He's feeling kind of defeated, and our first place was a little bit stuffier than he imagined it to be. There was a thicker layer of dust on things than he would have imagined. The food, if there was any food left over, it would have been rotted by now. He assumes that he's just had a longer stretch up at the Rod and Bow Club, but instead of going that way because he's not ready to confront his uncle yet, he just, again, tries to do a quiet, casual stroll around Otari, keep his head clear, and focus on what he kind of can control at this point, and that's really nothing. Like, he just feels lost, but is trying to take a sense of comfort that they did technically save Krugga.
Well, wait, say Krugga or Krugga?
Krugga.
Okay, you said Krugga the second time.
Yeah, I always say Krugga.
Okay.
I just always say the same one. I can't be fucked to figure out which one's which.
That's fine.
For the listeners, Ruff does not know the full events, I don't think still yet, of what happened in Absalom, and probably would have known Krugga as the local hermit a little bit here and there. So I appreciate not ready to face your own uncle, not ready to, maybe Krugga's around, completely unaware of what has happened to that retinue from episode 100.
So I think Ruff just arrives back at our first place around that time, just to kind of pick up whatever gear he left there, and then figure out, his intention was probably to head to the Dawnflower to find Lump, because he doesn't know where Nirkaj would have been staying, I don't think, and he faded out of that crowd about as fast as he could.
So by the time Lump reaches the house, then what? No answer?
No answer, but Ruff just kind of comes around the pathway.
And Lump recognizes the patter of little Shuni feet and just turns and I got you breakfast if you'd like, and we'll hold out a lemon bar.
Oh, shot through the heart. With a coy smile, he'll take it.
A lemon bar with little pieces of sausage in it.
Yeah. He'll take it with a coy smile, and he'll gesture to Arthur's place. That maybe he just gestures that the door's unlocked. But when Lump turns to go in, he smells the bar just to check to see if it's his uncle's. Regardless, he just demolishes it by the time Lump turns.
We just
back
roll a
around.
D100 real quick.
Where did they go?
Oh, it seems to have the distinct aroma of Debbie's lemon bars.
It's in there.
Yeah, there's just a hint of nutmeg in it.
Yeah, spits on the ground and then swallows it whole.
What is this, sumac?
What is this, from Woolerton? That's for the Canadian
Costco
listeners.
But
Yeah, so he thanks Lump and gestures inside. Would you like a cup of tea before we attempt to find Nirkaj or discuss our next steps?
that is part of the reason that I came here. As for the tea, God damn it! The first time I was asked if I like tea, I said it tastes like leaves, and then Freeman forced me to like tea. So yes, I would love a cup of tea. Thank you. That would be lovely.
power
Was
of
Ruff
the
there for
GM.
that conversation? Do you remember?
Oh, 'cause it was at Rin's, right? I think you were. Yeah.
Okay, so instead of making you like a herbal tea, like Ruff makes himself, he makes himself something like rosemary and mint. He'll make you something out of roots like a cinnamon and a star anise.
Oh,
Just
that sounds
remembering
delicious.
that offhanded comment.
Just straight gentian. So bitter.
It's licorice and you'll love it.
Just a bowl of pureed ginger.
Is this tea?
This is
No,
very-
it's warm absinthe. I'll take it.
Yeah, so just like sitting down and politely dusting off a bit of the table. It is in my nature to plan ahead, and given the situations that we've been finding ourselves in, I placed an order ahead of time for some runes to enhance our equipment. And I hope that you won't hold it against me, but after doing some calculations while standing vigil over Tulok last night, I believe we will be able to pay for all of it when it arrives.
So meta-wise, we've made a small behind-the-scenes decision. When Lump placed an order for a resilient rune, I've allowed the use of the prescient planner feat that Lump has to have created a list of, if you can also find a few extra things, we'll pay upon delivery. And, that was approved by Aloria because helping the heroes kind of thing. That wasn't on air like that, obviously. But yeah, just a little extra incentive to help with gear, given that we haven't done a lot of ordering and waiting. And also, these are expected to arrive tomorrow, and then putting full use of the runes will take one more day to apply them. Otherwise, continue.
I do believe that Tulok would have liked us to use these things to put an end to this. If I have overstepped, then I will apologize.
No, of course not. You are, and have proven yourself to be prescient. You are very, very talented at this, and my mind is not there. I appreciate that you have taken the initiative. What do you believe we should do? Is Nirkaj someone we can count on to see this through? Or do we think that perhaps their search is for the fortune and glory? Can we do this?
Now, I don't know if Lump ever properly revealed this. I know you said you did it on air, but I don't know if you ever told the other players or the other characters. But you would know that your call to arms that you sent through Aloria would arrive at Absalom sometime this afternoon. So you might have this partial hopefulness that something will come from it, but maybe not the time.
I think as they're talking, Ruff probably turns around to a couple of the portraits along the wall and sees Petunia and maybe Arthur as a child, and just starts brushing some dust off as he's absent-mindedly, not hiding his melancholy right now. There's very clearly some concern with him, and this is the biggest loss Ruff has ever really felt. And playing that is going to be difficult for me, I think, going forward, because I've suffered loss before, but nothing of this magnitude. Not losing a friend or brother in arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he just patiently waits for Lump's reply, whether or not Lump thinks this is something they're capable of right now. He understands that it's something they have to do, and he doesn't have a choice in the matter. This is, as far as he knows, his only purpose on Golarion right now is to clear the gauntlet, like
See
100% the
through,
gauntlet. But he's not sure it's possible right now, and that's why he's looking to Lump in this moment for reassurance, because Lump is kind of the only friend he's got left that's cognizant.
Lump is going to look the Shuni right in one of his eyes, because Lump only has one eye, and just, do I think we can do it? Yes. There's not a doubt in my mind that we will see this done. It may come at loss, it may come at pain, but we will see it through. To the last breath. We can become sad about Tulok, or we can let it light a fire inside us. We can let it burn brighter than anyone has ever seen before. We can do this. We can overthrow Velcora, and we can make sure that nothing she is planning comes to fruition.
You are, of course, correct. And we, as far as I am able to understand, have a single purpose here, you and I. Destroy the evil that dwells there.
I agree.
It would be nice if it hurt less, though. This one cuts at least one of my souls, if not more.
I am already twice damned. What's one more?
And I have already tread the rivers of Pharasma. Why not go for another dip? And his faith tattoo just lights up that Game Boy Pocket Ice Blue.
And Lump just gets the biggest smile, like, and then Cam really wants to do the Predator handshake. But I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how that'd work with the little Shuni and the giant flesh warp, but, use your imagination.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, with a perspective trick, you can make them both look like the same size.
Ruff's just standing on a stool.
Perfect.
If we could get fan art of that, at any
Yeah.
time ever,
Yeah, please.
I would love that.
That'd be amazing. Just we need like a 3-box like comic of just Lump putting her arm out at the wrong level, and then Ruff just pulling a stool over, getting up and grabbing them.
Even
It's just a close up of Lump's arm, and then the two of them doing the Predator handshake, and then the third is cut back, and it's just Ruff's feet on top of the stool.
steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Shall we get your shopping and track down our new friend?
Yes, the shopping should arrive tomorrow, so I think today we can take the time to rid ourselves of these painful conditions and rest, recuperate. And
Oh yeah, some of you still drained, aren't you?
yes.
Yeah.
How about that?
And so I think that we should find Nikaj, and for the record, I did send word for reinforcements to Absalom as well, so here's hoping. And Lump gives the most just shit-eating grin of just like, come on, somebody's gonna be there.
Who did you ask for help? I wasn't aware you had friends out there.
That's hurtful, Ruff. But to answer your question, it was more of a general call to arms. At this point,
Never mentioned them. You have given up your human name. I think that's a fair assumption.
it was an elven name. It's like you don't know me at all, Ruff.
Your face is so fucked. I don't know.
I know
Oh, look,
roughly
Scott's here
everything
too.
I need to know.
Nick, what are you doing with your day?
Yeah, I suppose Nick would have started out, at the ruins of the Thirsty Alpaca. For level up reasons, he's taken a few extra minutes with his getting his stuff together, which will become more apparent when we discuss that later. But yeah, I think he's just trying to this is his first moment to kind of pause and reflect on the absolute insanity that has been. How long has he been with the party? 2-3 days?
I think 2 days.
Yeah, Krucka lost his mental faculties 2 days ago.
Yeah, so it's been a big couple days for
Son of
old
a
Nicky
bitch.
boy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of taking to heart the weight of being a hero and also being a representative to the kobolds around him. And he imagines, well, I imagine that they're getting to work on this rebuilding effort that the Adamant has proclaimed. So he's just kind of ingratiating himself with the kobolds around. It's I, Nir Kaj, your hero. And then when he sees people not really paying that much attention, he kind of loses the bravado a bit, and he's just kind of hanging out, helping out as he can.
Yeah, so they're kind of like clearing the rubble a bit now and building a little bit of structure around the area, and they're doing a little bit below. So it's like, in the warrens below. So you show off some bravado. No one really pays too much attention. So you just get back to okay, I'll help you shovel or hold that up while you nail it in place, and just become one of the people. Yeah.
Finds a good fulcrum to use his spear as a lever, and
There you go.
the day's afoot.
Cool. All right, so you spend the day with your fellow kobold brethren and sisterin, and Ruff and Lump go for a chat and a drink, perhaps, while the day away, and let the situation kind of sink in a bit more. We'll go ahead and forward to the next day.
Quick point of order. Do I need to make counteract checks for the restorations?
I think strain just falls off.
Some of them are gonna wear off after resting, right? And then do you want to cast? It's just not bother.
Okay.
Because if you're waiting till today for sure, are you waiting because your resilient rune and some other things are going to arrive?
Yeah.
But then you need another day to set them. I assumed your plan is to spend another day,
Yeah.
or another night.
That'll be at least, yeah,
Which-
that's enough.
which means we can hand wave the drains.
Okay.
I think.
I just point of order, like I said.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I appreciate it. The next day here, eventually the runes will arrive, and what you had originally posted for was one resilient rune. What is going to arrive, and I've trusted Cam on the math here, is in fact 3 resilient runes,
Shipping error.
2 plus 2 weapon potency runes, which is a lot. You're going to get quite the power boost here. So Ruff and Nick need to adjust their armor and main weapons to both of those runes shortly, or as you would. And Lump will do a resilient for themselves. While this day is passing by and the delivery shows up, you will receive news that Lump, that the courier with the call to arms did pass by the courier on the way back here with the runes, so it seems to be in safe order. And whatever it is you decide to do with this day, aside from probably hitting up the barracks to get the runes transferred on your equipment, we should talk about level ups.
No.
Because I actually forgot you leveled up until Dunk just kind of slipped it in there, and I was like, "Oh,
Wow.
right, we should probably cover that."
Yeah, 9th level sorcerer is really fucking sick. So I'd love to just. Oh shit!
You would have
Yeah,
got
let's
5th
not
rank
hear about
spells,
that. Thank you.
Coming soon, a what if episode. Featuring the ghost of physics.
What's the level 9 alchemist look like? Oh, jeez. Who would like to go first on the old level up train?
I got a pretty easy one. I can knock this out.
Right.
since I already brought it up, the big thing for Nick will be combat flexibility. So I can make daily preparations to get an 8th level fighter's feat that I do not have the prerequisites for.
Okay.
So
it's up to 8th level, so you can
Up
do
to,
anywhere
yes.
from 1 to 8. Okay,
right.
Cool.
Other than that, I've got an ancestry feat I have chosen between the scales. So if I hit something that is flat-footed off guard, sorry, I will deal an extra precision damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and other than that, I just took a diplomacy increase. Oh, and I'm battle hardened, so I'm a master of fortitude. So bring it. No, don't bring it.
Okay.
Things have been brought.
Nice.
pretty heavily lately.
It's being brought in. You better believe it.
Yeah, that's me.
Between that and your new resilient rune, I'm coming at you.
Okay.
That's cool. That between the scales thing is pretty cool. It's was it melee weapon or unarmed attack that has the agile or finesse traits, which is important in case you didn't notice that part. And you gains the backstabber trait, which is cool.
Yes, and the striking rooting denser spear does have the finesse trait.
Okay. Perfect. Very, very cool.
Wait, so do you do like an extra d6 of damage now?
It's just 1 extra precision damage.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to sound that disappointed.
It's not like things are ever off guard here. Like, never happens.
Definitely
so
never off
it's-
guard.
No.
Definitely always off guard now. Fuck's sake. And immobilized, apparently. Damn it.
And ugly.
Cam, James, what do you think?
I'll go. So I got level 9 ancestry feat. I took Slip the Grasp, given what happened with the Froghemoth. It just seemed the most on brand, I guess, or in character. Basically, whenever I become grab, immobilized, or restrained, I have some feature that allows me to quickly evade effects that can restrain you. I attempt to check to escape. If I succeed, I can strike, step, or make a stride, with a melee unarmed attack targeting the creature you escape from. If you fail, you instead attempt to escape a second time. You increase your multiple attack penalty as appropriate for the actions you took, but only after completing both actions. I got level 5 spells. Those are pretty dope. And then I am now a master in medicine.
Awesome. And you increased your
Will save.
will
yeah.
saves.
I now have
You did
master
not
proficiency.
choose, however, your new attribute modifier. Dunk, did you choose one?
Did I not?
Remember
No, I
it's the
didn't.
gradual ability boost. So
It's going to
yeah.
be
So,
the good old Constitution, so now I have 118 hit points.
good
Yeah,
call,
you know what,
good call.
Gee, I'll take a constitution myself.
You
Round
really
of
want me to come
cons.
at you, do you? You really want me to come at you.
But yeah, Freeman,
Dunk,
by
you
the
still
way,
seem to be missing one. Did you not choose one for the previous level?
It's possible.
Well, there's a glowing yellow something. It means you've missed something.
No, I've just got the
Um,
one. I'm just missing the one.
I also, if I get a success on will saves, I get a critical success, so that's pretty cool.
Cool. Oh yeah, sweet. Yeah, there was an ask Dunk because you said you were going for con, but it's already selected, so you're still missing one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am missing one.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'm also charismatic.
Turns out Nick's actually more powerful than Dunk's been playing him. Okay.
Look out, Baron. I'm coming for you.
And as usual, I'm sure with your new spell slots, I'm gonna have to wait and find out what you've got prepared for me.
Oh,
Rough.
nothing special.
No, yeah, right. I believe you.
Ability score is charisma.
Mhm.
Proficiency was I went to trained in athletics just in case.
Mm-hmm. Good
My
call.
ancestry feat was scamper underfoot, so that's a shooty thing
Oh,
that gives me
yeah.
a +1 to tumble through as long as the creature's medium or large. And the presence of an enemy corpse doesn't make the square difficult terrain, so he just moves regularly.
It doesn't say corpse; it just says enemy. Usually, they tumble through. They count as difficult terrain. The square you tumble through.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
he
like a
can just
larger
move
enemy
through it.
would take 2 squares worth, kind of thing. Sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Of difficult
Gotcha.
terrain, so it slows you down. Yep.
And then level 9 for Magus kind of gets pretty hardcore. I get a lot of the same stuff Cam did. So I get alertness, so my perception is now a expert. I get resolve, so that's master will save and success or critical successes. I get expert spellcaster, so my DC is now expert, which is 27.
Kid.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, the big thing for Magus is instead of 3rd and 4th rank spells, I now have 4th and 5th rank spells that I can prepare.
Okay. You
So
can't
I've got
prepare
Shocking
third anymore?
Grasp at 4th level. No, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I got 2 fun little 5th level spells because that unlocks them.
Okay.
One is highly situational and the other's fun. It's really challenging to find higher level Magus spells because a
Mhm.
lot of them require saves.
Right.
So I really
And you
only
need
found
ones that
a couple
target,
at
yeah.
5th level. Yeah.
Okay.
So I split the difference and I took one that's a reaction called Shadow Siphon and one that targets AC called Blinding Foam that you are going to hate.
Okay. Blinding foam. That sounds interesting.
Foam party.
I guess I mean, yeah, I never really thought about, the higher level ones being a bit difficult, but that's kind of the beauty of putting a lower level one in a higher level slot too, right? You can, like you've
Yeah.
done there with Shocking Grasp. Yeah.
And enlarge, yeah. So enlarge at 4th level, the creature grows to huge. So
Oh no.
we got huge lump or huge nukaj or
You might want to get that
huge-
checked out.
yeah.
A huge lump?
Yeah.
A gross protuberance?
Wow.
It's malignant. It's fine.
Huge. That's terrifying.
The lump has evolved into
Yeah.
mound.
And Shadow Siphon's a really cool one. So I
vaguely
transform.
remember that spell, yeah.
Yeah, I transform spells into a partial illusion, so any creatures that would take damage only take half. But I treat the shadow spells level as 2 higher, so instead of 5th rank, I would actually be able to counteract 7th rank.
Oh, cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
So it's like everybody gets a save on my reaction. So I'm here for
Oh,
that.
crazy. Okay, that's
Yeah.
neat. I can't wait to see that in action.
Highly situational, but I think they'll both be really fun. So I've got them both
Mhm.
prepared right now. So we'll see.
Mm.
But that's it. Nothing crazy for 9th level Magus, but it really changes the dynamic of the character getting
Yeah.
those 5th rank spells.
It's been a long time since I looked at the progression of spells for a Magus. Why is it that you can't cast 3rd spells anymore?
It's just the
Is
way
it
the
like-
class works. You can only prepare your 2 highest ranks at all times. The only reason I can prepare 1st rank spells is a feat I have called
Okay.
Studious Spells, and my 3rd level spell comes from an item. My 1st level spell comes from an item called the Grimoire.
Oh yeah.
The Endless
Right.
Grimoire that allows me to prepare a lower level spell, and then my 2 second rank spells come from a Magus feat called Studious Spell. But they have to be
Okay.
specific spells that are prepared there.
Mm.
I can only do Gecko Grip, Sure Strike, and Water Breathing until 13th level. So
Okay. Interesting. Crazy. Cool. Very cool.
yeah,
Magus is awesome. All right. So the runes have arrived. You have gone ahead and put them into the garrison and getting your, you don't have your equipment now that they're transferring the runes over. So you'll have to wait that other day. Is there anything you want to do in the meantime, or do you want to just fast forward here?
does Morlabint have a spell book?
Does Morlabint have a spell book? Morlabint's got access to a good number of spells and scrolls and stuff. Why? What are you looking for?
I'd love to just take a flip through his spell book and maybe learn some shit.
Let's see here. Morlabint can typically has the following arcane spells available for paying customers. These are not updated for the remaster. Comprehend language, so that would be translate.
Okay.
Dispel magic.
Yeah.
Ant hall,
Okay.
mending, and detect magic cantrip.
Okay.
Those are typically available at any time. With some advance notice, we could have maybe others if you have something in mind.
I'd love to just try and learn translocate and dispel magic.
Okay. Yeah. Those are translocate or translate or both.
Translate. Sorry.
Okay.
Does if he's
Um,
got translocate, I'll take that too. But I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, I thought you already had that one for some reason. Anyway, yeah, if you want to roll the checks to learn those and pay the gold as you see fit, I'm happy to let you do that math on the side.
Are you okay with the typical DCs or no?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Heck, hold on a second. Let's see here. What do you got here, Morlibin? Why don't you roll? Okay. Morlibin aids you on one of them. Your choice.
Okay, so we'll do Dispel Magic because that's second level. So DC's 18. That's a 26. And the next one is a 34. So I don't know what spell that is, but that's a success unless it's.
They're both level 2 spells, so it should have been the same DC, which means you probably critically succeeded there, which means it costs you half, I think.
Yeah, so that cost me 6 total gold and 20 minutes.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Lump or Nick, anything you're doing with this second day in town as your gear is being sorted out?
Lump will probably go see if they can help the kobolds with anything on the second day.
Okay.
Just see if they can do some community service around the place. Just trying to stay busy, trying to not think about Tulok or going back in. And they are confident that like they can win, but it's still just a lot that has happened in the, I guess, 4 or 5 days that Lump's been with the party.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're just processing and just trying to do some manual labor to take their mind off it.
Nick?
Yeah, Nick's been staying the course with the kobolds, and also, yeah, as he's going to the garrison with his runes and stuff, he's trying to get in good with the townspeople, kind of starting to regale them with stories of stuff that had happened in the dungeons. I'm sure that some people are kind of wondering about Tulok and whatnot. So I mean, he's as he's going, he's kind of like, trying to check himself to not be too much of a bullshitter as he goes, but sees himself kind of embellishing details here and there.
I think maybe you actually see too, like, there's at this point, if you go into the market, I think maybe some of the kobolds have started to set up a stall to try and integrate into the town a little bit more. And it's like a little like repair stall, like repair all kind of stall, a little tinkering, like whatever it is you've got, we can fix it. You get a hole in your leather apron, we can patch that. Whatever you can think of. Want to fix a quick fix to the wheel on your cart, we can patch that. And you'll see, I think too, there ends up being a lot of tributes being laid at the wheels and door of Tulok's caravan, whether it's signs or flowers or little stuffed dolls, much like you might see on the side of the road where someone was lost in an accident. People have gone out of their way to pile on a few of these tributes to the fallen hero.
And Nick stops for a minute and kind of reflects on what the 2 days that he knew Tulok, but his reputation had obviously preceded him being the longest lived hero of Otari. So he stops and kind of reflects for a moment, then stops at the kobold shop. Oh, what a glorious idea. Yeah. Here's a better idea. Pet rocks. That one's free.
Oh yeah, well,
This is your neighborhood hero, Nirkaj, just doing more community service.
Are the people of Otari really into that? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, think they'll bite? Well, I hope they don't bite a rock. That would hurt.
I think that's
Maybe
more
we
of a
can open
dwarf thing.
Dentistry office.
Maybe more of a dwarf thing.
It
though.
just starts spiraling into something really random.
He's already walking away like, I've done my good deed here.
Yeah. Does the reflection upon Tulok's reputation, does it give a little more like anxiety to Nick, or a little more inspiration, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, a bit of both. I think it is just more and more coming to terms with the fact that he signed up for this and he's shown himself capable, and there doesn't seem like the need is there. So he's going to step into those shoes, but not going to be too surprised if he faces some very, very perilous situation that he doesn't come out of, and he's kind of coming to terms with that. because it's all been fantasy in his head up until now.
Yeah. Okay. So as Ruff, you spend the day learning these spells, and you find yourself ready to leave Morlabint's. And Morlabint gives you, a kind of a wary look the whole time you're in there, which you may or may not find kind of curious. But as you leave the shop, the friendly chime at the door as you open it and close it, and as you do, a courier is running down the street and skids to a halt at you. It's like, Raphael, I was looking for you. Wow, you were so close to Galentine deliveries. Holy crap. What are the chances?
It's a small town. Good, I would think.
That's a fair point. Listen, could you find your companions and come back up to the Galentine deliveries? Longsaddle wants to talk to you.
Of course, yes.
Okay, see you later. Just peels off again.
Okay. And he holds up the Sword of Thundara and sight beyond sight. Did you guys did you all
Yep.
tell Ruff where you are?
Yeah, I think that Lump would tell Ruff. And seeing the beam of light passing through the sword up into the sky, Lump will do the Chris Evans log split in half and then just take off running towards the light.
Yeah. Nick will also, in the middle of a conversation, look upwards and go, "My people need me," and then try to run away as fast as possible.
The kobolds and stuff like, but where are your people?
My other people.
Oh, jeez.
I love the idea that maybe they didn't tell you where they were, so it's like the couriers just pawned the job off on you, and that's why
Right,
they
yeah.
run away. It's like, can you find them? Thanks, bye.
He just starts sending ignition up in the sky.
Just poof, poof, poof,
Pumping
little
out
tiny
cantrips.
fireballs. Yeah.
Yeah. Every 6 seconds, a new flare.
What is it, Ruff? What is it?
What is it, boy? What is it?
I was just confronted by a courier. Longsettle wishes to meet us at Galentine's deliveries of all places.
Did they tell you to do something and then just peel off without any sort of goodbye or anything? I've noticed they do that here. Most couriers here at least have the common decency to wish you a good day or stick around for a tip. These
Awful rude, if you ask me.
just a real piece of shit.
It's
The upside
an
is they leave
efficient
without
service.
asking for a tip.
It is efficient, and you know what? Maybe pleasantries are overrated. So to long saddles.
I backtracked on that immediately.
To
Yeah, pleasantries are overrated. This is why Lump has no friends in Absalom.
Yeah, exactly.
to Galentine deliveries.
And
Or you
March.
march your way up to Galentine, and as you do, there's a couple guards hanging outside, and you see Gerald as kind of talking to some of them, and he commands them to stand at attention real quick. They turn around and they're carrying your pieces of equipment ready with the new runes on them, and he's like, "All right, hand them out to the boys now," and so they start handing your equipment out to you, and as you kind of get it reset on yourself, and anyone who needs help with their armor, the guards quickly help. And Gerald goes into Galentine and pops back out again, and out comes Longsaddle with a real grim look on his face. Oh, there you are. I hope you're ready to continue. I hope your mission's even possible now that we've lost our sage.
I do believe that it is.
The pragmatist in me says I don't have a lot of hope anymore.
I think
That
that's
also
more of a
frustrates me to admit that Silly market, man. Really dug his hooks into me. I hope the rest of you can stay latched on as well.
Say silly market man. That's what you're going with.
It wasn't my smoothest.
That's
I'll
this
admit
was
it.
on the tombstone.
I was actually, as I was trying to say it, I was struggling to remember if Tulak was a half elf or an elf. So it's like market man, and it just stumbled over it.
Well, I can do this now, and Lump will shift their hand into a hook. Just completely awkward.
Yeah.
And then just failing to read the room a little bit, and then just quietly shift their arm back into another lumpy hand.
Gerald's like pulling at his collar. Awkward. And Longsaddle's like,
Right.
I'll grow on you.
You will?
please don't.
Typical lump, am I right?
Like a
I'm not even sure I want the hooks in me anymore. This is getting weird. Duffy, tell me about it.
I have sent word to Absalom if it will help assuage your fears.
I know you sent word to Absalom. Word just came in today.
Lump looks like they got caught with their hand in a cookie jar.
I'm a bit surprised you did it without saying anything. My signature on that call to arms might have helped. Perhaps even the mayor's as well. It would do you a great boon to remember that you're not just doing this for the town. You need to be part of it too. Lump. Is that understood?
Lump has a moment of about to glare at Longsaddle, and then just gives a small curt nod, used to authority figures demeaning them.
Your demeanor could use a little perspective, Captain Longsaddle. Remember that Lump is the reason why many of us are still alive. They have saved my life on many occasions, as they did with Krugger and Sage and those before. They deserve and have earned your respect. I understand your disappointment with this situation, but that does not grant you the right to speak to a hero of Otari with such venom.
That's when the door opens again and Mayor Menhimes steps out. And he says, "You're both right. But perhaps now is not the time to have a dressing down competition. Now is the time for all of you to meet the Butcher of Otari." And he opens the door again behind him. And out steps... who, Scott?
All right, so behind Menhimes, you see this large man stepping through. Human. Skin dark from sun and wrinkled. He's 55 years old, but has seen some pretty hard miles. A mop of chestnut hair speckled with gray covers his head, and his face is tanned, highlighting some green eyes under bushy eyebrows. His beard betrays his age more than his hair, almost fully gray. Stepping down a few steps, you see that he is a pretty large guy, standing around 6'3", 6'4", well built, with hide armor that looks like it's patchworked from all different styles, all different places. From beneath, you see tattoos licking up his neck and down his arms, and the pelt of a tiger over his shoulders. As he steps down the stairs, various implements and small things hanging from his waist kind of jingle a little bit. And then you notice a massive cleaver hanging from his hip. Now, it's good to meet y'all. My name's Harold. Harold Lovich. But some people call me the Butcher of Otari. I come a long way. I've been gone a long time. But now I'm back. It's good to meet the heroes of Otari. Though I don't recognize any of y'all. Except for this here pup, Raphael. It's been a while. You grown and you changed. How are you?
Couple of questions.
Yep.
Is this man shackled? Like the butcher sounds like a prison name.
That was the point. Absolutely not.
Okay.
In fact, you could see like Menhimes is like beaming, like smiling
Fanboy.
wide that this man is here, and even Longsaddle has a bit of like a friendly familiarity with him.
Okay. And Scott,
It's we're kind of pushing it into a retcon here in a way, but Arthur absolutely would have known this man.
okay.
I will just point out real quick, and we can cut this, but he is grown up, born and raised in Otari, but has been gone throughout the years for long periods of time, and most recently has been gone for about 5-6 years.
Was his relationship with Ruffa and Arthur amicable?
Yes.
He's a good guy.
Do they like sausages?
Yeah.
He's a butcher, so
He's literally a butcher.
Okay, so he's okay.
Yeah. In fact, he doesn't have a stall in the market, but he has like the building, one of the buildings south of the market is his butcher shop. It's been shuttered for years.
Harald, it is quite the shock to see you. I did not, truth be told, even know that you were gone. I myself have traveled a long way to return home. It is a kindness to see you again.
I can see that look in your eyes, son. And who are your companions here?
This, if I may present, Nirkaj, voice of the kobolds. And let me introduce you to Lump, hero of Otari, genius tactician, and I have met no one who is more in tune with the humanoid anatomy. They are both excellent fighters, amazing friends, and true heroes.
Well met.
Lump will reach out a hand to shake.
And this hand is a little bit more your size as compared to when you did a predator handshake earlier.
Yeah.
You feel just the strength behind that grip.
Some calluses.
And yeah. And he shakes your hand. It is good to meet you. I'm slightly surprised that I see some foreign faces here. But I'm truly happy that you've come forth to help my town. I've been gone for several years. Most recently, I'm back from the Mwangi Expanse. Spent some time traveling down there, hunting. It's good to see you. And you as well. And he nods to Nirkaj.
Who nods back. He's just kind of like staring at the massive cleaver. Welcome back. You've come at an opportune time. We could use the help.
Thank you. And help I do propose to give. You may not know me, but I will come to join you if you'll have me. I grew up in this town. This town's given me all I know. Though I leave for long periods of time and take in the rest of the Galarian here, the rest of the world, I always come back home.
Menhima speaks up and says, We've updated Harold here as the best we can, but we trust you'll help fill in the details of what's been going on at the Gauntlet. Words. We trust you'll fill him in on the rest with what's happening in the Gauntlet. In the meantime, Harold, we'll see to your shop getting back on its feet as best we can. Perhaps Irkaj, your kobold brethren, could use a little extra work.
I'm sure we'd be happy to help.
And Harold turns and nods and says, "Thank you, old friend. I appreciate that. Seems I just got here a little too late. Heard that Tulok boy was helping you out. I didn't know he had it in him. Didn't know him for long, but seemed like a little bit of a loner. Reading tarot or whatever he used to do. Didn't see the strength in him then. But I hope I can replace."
He surprised us all. No doubt about it.
Not to be rude, Harold, but I don't think that you can replace him per se. But I do believe that you will be a good fit, if that makes sense.
It does. And thank you.
I trust Harold will inform you of his exploits as well. I think you'll find he certainly will be an asset.
This is not to be engaged with lightly, Harold. This is... We have lost many friends along the way. If you come with us, your life is most likely forfeit. And as soon as we enter the Gauntlet, it no longer belongs to you. It belongs to the town and the people of Otari. If that is a sacrifice you are prepared to make, nothing would make us happier than to have you along.
I would take up that mantle. I would give it all for this town, as it's given to me. And I'm no stranger to loss. I follow Skode. That's my deity, the hunter. And I've turned my hunting ways on the undead and on evil creatures of all types. I will hunt down this Belcora with you. Put her to rest.
Daylight is burning. Shall we?
And Lump will adjust their armor. And then as we're walking towards the Gauntlet, so what particular skill set do you use?
I've learned a lot in my time abroad, coming and going. I've been up north, all the way to the realm of the Mammoth Lords, down to the Mwangi Expanse, seen the Eye of Abendego, and over to Taldor, everywhere in between. Everywhere I go, I seem to pick up these objects, these implements, learn about the esoteric. And I take these skills and this knowledge and I use it to defeat my enemies. And that's what I intend to do here. And for the listeners, Harold is a thaumaturge. So I am in over my head jumping into level 9 of this class, but we're going to do our best.
I feel your pain. Can you give us the cliff notes on a thaumaturge? I've never even looked at it.
Yeah, essentially it is a martial class, and they use what are called implements in their offhand that give them abilities. But kind of the main thing is that they use feat called, it's a lore called esoteric lore. And it's really cool because it kind of can encompass almost anything. But mainly when you first start out, you can use it to learn knowledge about various creatures and enemies. It's almost like bardic lore.
Okay, cool.
But less horny.
Less horny, more killy.
Yeah, one of the
Sweet.
themes of the thaumaturge is that you have these implements, these specific implements of power, but they also have what's called esoterica. So hence all of the little trinkets and stuff that he has. So he can use the esoterica as a general thing, and then the implements is for specific abilities. But generally speaking, the idea is to find and exploit, and in some cases create vulnerabilities in the enemy's defenses.
Yeah. John Constantine, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Some of the descriptions that give the flavorful ones are really cool. You can create a weakness in a tyrant by, the flavor text is by, pulling out an esoterica, which is the broken link of a chain from a previous slave. It's really thematic little things like that. And that imposes a weakness upon your target. So it's a lot of willing vulnerabilities into your enemies through these objects.
Do we need to gear Harold up at all?
Harold is doing pretty good. I think that the only, you know what? I think I'm pretty stacked right now.
You don't have a lot of things. You got the good basics down, I think.
Yeah.
If there's floating around items that no one's using, it could never hurt, certainly. But it really depends on what you have left over from Tulok's inventory and Kreka and stuff.
Oh, just a broken heart.
It looks like we just have a +1 striking short sword.
Harold's geared enough.
Hmm.
He good to go.
Ready for the
Let's
basics.
see him butcher some stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to check. We're leaving Otari.
Yep.
Now feels like the right time to ask that question. So
Yeah, Harold's got a +1 striking weapon and a resilient armor for the very baseline stuff. So, and then a couple other little goodies,
Mhm.
including a pearly white Aeon stone,
Aw, cute.
That's right.
which Scott still hates.
Lame.
All right, you're heading into Le Gauntlet. What's the plan? Heading back down to the lowest level so far? Via the elevator? Do you set back out upon the lake and head back to where Tulok died?
Yes.
The scene of the crime.
And while we're walking, just fill him in. Exposition dump.
Okay.
Or lore dump.
Exposition dump.
And as they get there, we'll fade in, and that's how I gloriously ran away.
And for the first time, I think the early levels are a bit more muddied in detail because the one person who was there for it all is no longer with us. So the recent events are clearer. The early ones, not so much.
And we can't go down, or can we go down the teleportation circles?
yeah, we can. Rough's Arcane.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Can't they just go back and listen to the first few episodes of the podcast?
Yeah. So pull out the old recorder that Morlibint has.
It's just a short flute.
That
Cylinder on there. Yeah.
was a good one, James.
Do you mean a whistle?
No, put it away. Damn it.
You had that so close to you.
He was already in his hand,
There's
I
always
swear to
one within
God.
reach. There's always one within reach.
I almost 3D printed you a slide whistle.
Why almost? You should have done it.
But yeah, I would like to go back to where we came from and
Yeah, we also do kind of need to figure out what the deal is, going down there with the Caligny. We did tell them we were going to clear that shit out.
Tulok told them we were going to clear that shit out.
Yeah, the Caligny, they're on the next floor below, and they are kind of as stuck as the other ones you've met. But yeah, you decided to put it off for now.
Yeah, I mean, we sorted out
you have
their...
you have an in on the introduction, which is important when you're
Yeah.
ready for it.
and Ruff bought 3 scrolls of translate, so we should be okay there for a little while.
Remind me, did you check all 3 of these little outbuildings?
I don't think so, because
I
we
think you
got
checked,
just detect magic going through, looking.
Yeah,
for
we
everything.
did check all 3.
Okay, I don't remember the bottom one, and I don't see anything in
I'm
it.
sure you checked the bottom one. I remember the
this
first one
one?
because
Oh.
you had the rust monster corpse
sorry.
in there, and I remember
Right,
you
Yeah,
guys
we did.
discovering
We
that.
did the top one, this one, and this one.
Uh,
I didn't even realize that was
I don't think-
another one.
And we searched this one too after Tulok, right?
Yeah, I was counting that one.
Okay.
1, 2.
I
and
don't know
3.
if you did because we were kind of caught up. I don't know if you actually bothered to search after Tulak. I think you went straight back. I don't think you searched at all. So I
Okay,
think you grabbed the body and went.
then yeah, we're gonna.
So yeah.
Tell me, Harold, are you any good at looking for things?
I am pretty good at taking a look for things. Spend a lot of time in a lot of deep, dark places like this. Unfortunately.
Spent a lot of time in the middle of haystacks looking for needles.
Yeah, I can take my time and search very thoroughly if that's what you're asking.
That's what I was about to ask.
And some might call me a master when it comes to perceiving things.
Where do you want to search first? Did you want to search the one up here, or you want to go, to the southern building? What are you thinking?
I'll go to the north and just do a thorough search in there. Also, I almost call him Tulok. As Harold searches around,
Ruff will stand vigil at the bridge and take the scout activity.
Okay.
as Harold is searching, he has pulled out the cleaver from its sheath, and it looks like probably the sharpest thing you've ever seen. It is just gleaming, like that edge has just been worked into the most razor sharp edge possible.
Classic searching knife.
Yeah. All right. Roll me a thorough search.
Ugh. 2 on the die for an 18.
Ouch. What does thorough search do for you again? If you do a GM roll secret check, you get a +2 circumstance bonus to the perception check. If you succeed, you get a critical success instead. That's a great skill.
20.
+2? Making it 20? Oh, isn't that a meat to beat, my friend?
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, it's a critical.
So you extra
Becomes
found
a
it.
critical. You spot a fake flagstone in the wall.
A false flagstone?
Hey, come over yonder. I think I found something in this here wall. And Harold will activate it.
You pull it aside, and as you do, it pulls open a secret door. 5 foot wide hallway. Ba-ba-boom. Extending 15 feet to the east.
Good job, Harold. That was great.
Then banking to the north.
Do you mind if I go first, or would you like to?
I don't mind. I don't want to step on your toes.
Oh, they're steel clad. It will be fine.
I don't know how many you got in there.
It's a mystery to me as well.
Be aware we think something is living on the other side of the bridge here.
Not for long.
Yeah, for the listeners, they are north of that bridge that they were originally about to cross when they get ambushed by the Froghemoth, of which on the other side was a massive cavern filled with fungus and mushrooms and a giant spider's web.
You did good to find the hidden passageway, but it looks like it just ends here. Does that normally happen?
Why don't I take another peek at that?
All right.
And Harold steps past and would like to thorough search again, this time for a 36.
Ooh, he's good.
Yeah, you find what appears to be a natural rock wall from this side, You find a little depression or some such, and boom, it opens up before you, and it extends into a northern part of that massive cavern. Straight ahead of you is a bunch of mushrooms and fungus, of course. And one thing that stands out is that the northeastern part of this cavern is a perfectly rounded edge, like a constructed wall, as opposed to a natural cavern. The rest around you does appear to be quite natural, although to the north you have dark vision? Probably not, eh, Harold?
No.
Yeah, so you can't see too far ahead of yourself. Actually, do you have a torch and stuff too? Do you have light cast on you? We're going to have to cover
light
that.
cast on me.
Okay. So light extends out dim light 40 feet. Is that right? Or is it farther now that you have it's heightened? It's got to be
Dim
farther.
is 40. 60 and
Heightened
60.
to fourth, 60 and 60. Okay.
So 120 total.
Okay, so yeah, kind of get the light a little bit farther past the threshold instead of in this tight corridor. So I'll require you guys to step forward a little bit. You do catch that there is a creature to the north standing next to a door. And it looks like this.
Oh no.
That's a Gorgon.
Hey, wait a minute. That one's got snake for hair.
Jealous.
This female form with these writhing snakes on her head is standing there almost like limply, like kind of guarding the door, but in a strange posture, not really at attention. And as you step through the threshold and the light spills over the cavern, you see her suddenly snap to attention a little bit and do a slow turn towards you. And then a slow grab of an arrow and raises her bow and quickly knocks it, pulls it back. And that's what we're going to call it. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.